This isn't an action movie, it's a real-life rescue. Macomb County Sheriff's Deputy Nicole Myron leapt from her moving car into another to help a driver having a medical emergency.
Hey everyone, welcome back. This next video that we're gonna watch is a scene straight out of Hollywood, but it's real life. This is the Shots Fired podcast. I'm Kyle Schoberg, and this is Mark Redlich.
Before we get into this video, I want you to go to tacticalconference.com and get signed up for TAC Ops. In 2025, they're offering 4 different conferences: New York, Washington, D.C., Nashville, and Florida. Kyle and I go to every single one of them. We actually teach our class Patrol Survival Tactics at that class. Go to TAC Ops, get registered, and sign up for the conference. You will not regret this training.
All right, so the video we're gonna play for you guys today comes out of Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, when 2 deputies got dispatched to a car that was driving erratically. They try to pull the car over, it doesn't stop. They then recognize that there's something going on with the driver. They suspect a medical condition. And one of the deputies actually climbs out of their patrol car and into the moving vehicle to put it in park. Let's watch the video and briefly talk about it.
This isn't an action movie, it's a real-life rescue. Macomb County Sheriff's Deputy Nicole Myron leapt from her moving car into another to help a driver having a medical emergency.
You good? You okay? Is this park? I don't even think I hit the side of the truck or anything. I did a clear jump in, put the vehicle in park, and here we are.
September 12th, Deputy Myron was in the passenger seat. Deputy Anthony Gross driving. He's a trainee, his second week on the job, when they responded to reports of a car driving erratically down Gratiot.
He isn't responding to us pulling him over, the lights, sirens, nothing like that. So as we get on the side, you can kind of see, he's in a daze. He's an elderly gentleman.
The car was going slowly, but they didn't have much time.
We got to stop him for a 16 mile. I'm thinking he's already going through a couple red lights, passing through Harrington.
And that's when Deputy Myron realized.
I'm going through. I'm going to have to jump over there.
I was just looking at his driver mirror, my passenger mirror, just trying to line it up that way with those 2 cars and just making sure. Luckily, everybody else was kind of dispersing because we had our lights and sirens on.
Deputy Gross's driving was perfect. It allowed Deputy Myron to lean out the window. She tried using her window punch. Luckily, the driver was able to roll that window down. And then the leap and rescue. How did it feel afterward?
Like, wow, we just did that? Like, that just happened? But in the moment, it was just so focused on it, just making sure everything was going to be all right.
I'm proud of both of them and proud of all the men and women that work here at the Sheriff's Office, because every day they're willing to think on their feet and jump into action without hesitation.
Even if that jump is literal.
You okay? Is this park?
The driver received medical attention and is recovering. Scott Walczak, Fox 2 News.
All right, so first off, I want to start by saying it is very honorable the way these 2 deputies handled themselves and actually got into that car and stopped this thing. They really prevented potentially catastrophic incident, especially where that car was headed as a busy intersection. So outstanding, nice work, way to think outside the box. But really, we talk a lot about critical thinking, having your options and different concepts and trying to plan for situations. And in this situation, these officers were very lucky it didn't go wrong, because they really could have been hurt, potentially killed in this situation. So let's talk about what other options there are if you are presented with similar situations like this.
Yeah, so here I look. They did the news article on these 2 deputies, and the one deputy was on FTO. I think it was only his second week on the job. So this is, it's kind of a lot to deal with. I do like the fact that they recognize that they tried to pull him over. He's not stopping. He is all over the road. They recognize that this wasn't someone trying to flee from them. They quickly, I think, realized that this is someone having a medical condition. So hats off to them for thinking that and not just assuming that it was a drunk driver refusing to pull over. So step number 1. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's very honorable and heroic that a deputy would actually lean out the window, literally like a scene out of a movie.
Yes.
And jump into someone else's vehicle while it's going. Now, granted, the truck's not going very fast, but when we're talking about like other options that we have to prevent you from getting hurt or possibly killed if you fell out of the car and it got ran over, that truck is swerving all over the place. You don't know if that guy's accidentally going to hit the gas pedal and halfway with you hanging out of the vehicle, trying to get into his, God knows. And then all of a sudden that thing takes off and now you fall out of the, right. There's so many things that could have gone wrong, and I'm glad that didn't happen. But a simple solution to me would be take your patrol car, pull it up in front of that truck, and put your rear bumper right on that thing. And yes, you are going to damage his truck. You are going to damage the patrol vehicle. Sorry to the fleet person, whoever's in charge of that. But you can ask for forgiveness later. But I think ultimately that would have been the safer route to go. Slamming on your brakes and letting that truck, collide into the back of yours. And I don't mean, when I say collide, I don't mean pull in front of that thing, just 10 yards and then just straight brake check them. No, I meant like you could casually let that thing kind of make contact with your rear bumper and then start applying your brakes and get that thing to a stop.
I think my option on that would almost be that, or the other option would be a pit maneuver. It's slow-mo. The car, they said at one point, is only doing 5 miles an hour. I think you could position your car. Granted, it's a new trainee that's driving. They said he was on 2 weeks. He's still gone through driving training. That FTO can walk him through this and then have him actually pit this car. I think that's another safe option. There's plenty of roadway space on this road to actually do that. So just different options.
Yeah, there's just, and it seems like all the other cars are fully aware of like what is going on. It looks like they're all driving about the same speed as him.
I think they want to watch like what is going on. You have cops leaning out, trying to knock on a window of a car. Like I'd probably be staying back. Like what's happening here?
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. Look.
Yeah. Quick decisions, especially they said, intersections coming up. They've got to stop this car, but
he had already gone through, and she even said he had already gone through a couple other red lights too. So luckily he had already avoided other collisions, and he, in what point, drives up, he's on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous. That's a super risky situation to be involved in. But again, your options are limited. Something has to be done. So I like the fact that they made a decision and went with it instead of just following that thing until, God knows, collided into somebody or hit a pedestrian or whatever. So I like the decisive action that they took. I think we need to talk about other alternatives, what could have been done differently to mitigate risk to the deputy who climbed into his truck. I would have hated to see her fall out and get run over. That would have been, the conversation would be completely different. So
yeah, it would be not a good one. I look at this as having three options. One is you pull in front of the car, like you said, lightly apply your brakes, have that car bump you, and you slowly stop it. The second is you do a pursuit. And the third really is what I would not do, but they did, and it was successful, and they prevented a lot of people from being injured.
Yeah. So either way, look, hats off. If you guys watch this video, again, this is just to break this down and talk about some different options so that if somebody else gets put into a situation like this, maybe they'll think of this scenario and come up with different options. But at the end of the day, hey, look, hats off to you. Congratulations. I'm glad that worked out. It is heroic, and stop watching cop action movies.
Yeah. Don't be doing hero Hollywood stuff.
Denzel Washington style takedowns, so from some movies. So anyways, all right. Anything else you want to add? Pretty quick.
Stay safe and be smart.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next video. See you later.